Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Well, thank you for coming in Saturday morning to Ad America. Welcome to Ad America. We are the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and here we have a mission to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. And hello, everyone. My name is Patricia Elizabeth. I'm one of the e-guide here, and I'll be your host for today's event in partnership with Education USA Indonesia. In this event, you can discover how the SAT can elevate your application and get expert tips on how to prepare. But before we start our discussion for today, we have trivia quiz for you who join us via online platforms. And the question is, what can a student expect when taking the SAT? Is it a test on reading, writing, and math comprehension? Is it B, a test on social studies, science, and math comprehension? Is it C, a test on physical fitness and math comprehension? Or D, a test on art, music, and writing comprehension? You can submit your answer to our social media platforms, and you can guess correctly, you will get a live shout out from us at the end of this event. And now, allow me to introduce our moderator for today. She is Education USA advisor here in Ad America. Everyone, please welcome Caroline Darmanto.
Thank you, Patricia. Hi, everyone. My name is Caroline. I'm one of the Education US advisors at America. So thank you all for coming, for spending your Saturday morning with us. Right. So if you haven't heard of Education USA before, well, I hope you have. But if you haven't, you can take a look at the map behind me. So here are the locations of Education USA centers. As you can see, we have multiple centers around Indonesia. So we have one center in Aceh, in Medan, in the U.S. Embassy Jakarta, here at America, Malang, Surabaya, Samarinda, and Makassar. But what is very unique about Education USA at America is that we host events and we live stream all of our events so you guys can have access to all the information about studying in the US. So it doesn't matter if even if you can't come to Ad America, you can always stay tuned to our YouTube channel, to our Instagram account to watch all of our events. So if you guys are wondering, so what do you guys do here and how can we help you? So Education USA is here to provide you with the information about studying in the US. We are available in over 170 countries. We can help you and provide the information about basically everything from researching your options and then about the scholarships, about completing your application, writing the essays, how to write a good resume or CV for your application, information about the U.S. student visas, and the pre-departure orientation. So if you have any questions, if you need any guidance about anything that's related to studying in the U.S., feel free to contact any of the advisors that are available here. So you can take a look at the QR code on the bottom right there, and also there's a link to our Calendly. So you can set an appointment with anyone. So if you live in Jakarta, you don't have to make an appointment with anyone in Jakarta. You can browse the advisors and then pick and choose in terms of like the profile that you think will fit you, or you can who can help you best, and also take a look at the schedules. Maybe one of us will be able to help you that anything that suits your schedule. So without further ado, we're going to talk about SAT information session today. It's something that we rarely talk about. So if you guys are joining in, you guys are in for a treat. So please help me welcome our speaker, Mr. Haike Zhao. Hi, Haike. Oh, we cannot hear you.
One sec. Can you hear me now?
Yes, all good, all good. Hi, Haike.
Thank you, Caroline, for the wonderful introduction. I should have known better now how to unmute myself, after all these years. But apologies for that.
Right. So the floor is yours. You can go ahead and start the presentation now.
Wonderful. You can definitely see my screen, the slide number 1, right?
Right now, not yet. Not yet. Give us 1 second, please. We're preparing.
All right. If you can, I'm sharing my screen, and now we should be able to see the agenda slide. If you see that.
Not yet. Just sorry. Give us 1 second to prepare.
No problem. Take your time.
Right. I mean, I guess in the meantime, you can probably introduce yourself first. Talk to our audience.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I cannot see your face, but my name's Haike Zhao. I am with the international team at the College Board, coming to you from Iowa. Iowa City is the Midwestern U.S. Right now, my outside temperature is about Celsius. Probably just above zero. So I am a little jealous of the temperature in Jakarta right now. But the good thing is we have this tool, we can connect online, and I'm super excited to talk about SAT, a little bit about the updates, what SAT is, and some of the ways you can prepare for SAT, and we'll definitely leave enough time for Q&A. So um, Caroline, are you seeing my screen right now, or I'm still waiting for
Right
this
now,
slide to show?
yes, we can see your screen.
Great, great, great. So, again, a lot of times my work is to support partners, for example, ministries of education, Education USA, like your office, and schools, and whether it's a test center or schools that use in our College Board programs such as SAT, PSAT, AP. But also, this is my one of my favorite things to do that. Just to connect with the students and parents ideal. The first move forward. College Board, that's a little bit about me. If you heard about SAT, if you heard a little bit about College Board reaches about 7 million students every year, helping them navigate a path from high school to college and a career. So we are a not-for-profit membership organization founded about 120 years ago, really, really old. But we pioneer programs in the SAT and the AP to expand opportunity for students and help them to develop the skills they need. You can see from the slides, just really, really a brief intro on the left hand corner is the SAT, PSAT, 8 and 9, PSAT 10, all this suite of SAT suite of assessment. On the right corner, upper corner, is our curricular programs, for example, the AP and pre-AP, which we've seen in a lot of actually a lot of students taking a AP in Indonesia right now. The left, no, the right corner, bottom corner is search and CSS profile and big future. Really quick, that is students, if you are interested in applying for scholarships, especially institutional scholarships, which are really eligible for international students. You can use the CSS profile, fill out a one form that you will be able to search over 300 scholarships from 300 U.S. higher institutions. So that is another part of the services we provide to the students and educators. So for today, I'm pretty sure in the past few months or ever since the pandemic, we've seen some of the top universities. You've read this is just a really quick screenshot. Many top universities, especially those highly selective universities, have reinstated their standardized testing requirements for admission. So without test scores, admission officers sometimes have a hard time distinguishing between applicants who are likely to do very well in elite universities and those who are likely to struggle. So, whether you're reading the news about those Ivy League schools or flagship public universities in the US, a lot of them start to reinstate the standardized testing. SAT, almost all the 3,000 plus universities in the US and another 450 plus university in nearly 70 other countries reported that will they accept the SAT for admission for any scholarships. This is true for a lot of the countries, for example, the US, of course, Canada, UK, Europe, many countries in Europe, and many countries in Asia, for example, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, and China. Really, really quick on this one. The You can see in the 23-24 school year, over 2.5 million students took the SAT, and you can see over 3 million students take the PSAT and MSQT. I can talk about the maybe some of you never heard about the kind of the SAT suite of assessments. All these four tests assessment belongs to one family. We'll call it suite SAT suite of assessment. I can tell you a little bit more later as part of how you should prepare yourself for the SAT. So before we dive into the digital SAT, maybe some of you have already seen this, like the whole concept about holistic missions in the U.S., especially a lot of whether it's in the U.S. or Canada, a lot of the holistic mission framework is used as a mission officers are how they evaluate applicant students in this four buckets. The first one is academic accomplishment. The second one is curricular rigor. Third one, environmental context, personal qualities, and the fourth one. Without any doubt, if you look at the first one and second one, the academic accomplishment, SAT, as part of the standardized test scores, is a very, very important measurement. Also, if you're taking are you taking the most rigorous curriculum? For example, the AP courses, that's another very important measurement as well. This is why uh, for many students, especially international students and students in Jakarta or Indonesia, the SAT is a powerful tool that can open doors for students and educators. The these I listed three reasons why SAT can help students to stand out to colleges. I'm pretty sure if you're listening to our webinar today, you already know that SAT can help you to stand out in the college admission, and SAT can help you to not just admission. There are many other benefits. For example, scholarships. Digital SAT, two parts. Whether the SAT consists of two sections: evidence-based reading and writing, and math. So that's if you are listening to the questions that were asked in the very beginning, what is SAT? What is SAT measure? Now you probably get an answer. The SAT has two sections right here. From two the SAT score is on a 400 to 1600 point score scale, with each section 200 to 80 points. So the highest score you can get is 1600, the lowest you can get is 400. This is a very simple slide on what does SAT or the whole SAT suite of assessment. What are the content domains? Which means what they are we measuring? So for reading and writing, there are four main themes. The first one is information and ideas, craft and structure, explanation of the ideas, and standard English convention. So the reason we categorize all into this four is because later the students, when they take the SAT or the SAT suite of assessment, you will be able to see which area you are really good at or which area you may need a little bit of help. In math, it's the same for areas. You will have algebra, advanced math, problem solving, and data analysis, and geometry and trigonometry. See, those are the four main buckets for the math part of the SAT. You've already know this. SAT is a multi-stage adaptive test. What does it mean? That means we're talking about reading and writing and math. During the reading and writing and math, you have two modules. Module one, students are given a broad mixture of easy, medium easy, and hard questions. And based on the module, the students' performance on the module one, students will be given another targeted mixture of the questions based on, again, your performance on module one. And combine these two modules, there you go, you will have the SAT score for the students. So why multi-stage adaptive testing? There are many benefits to the multi-stage adaptive testing. Shorter tests used to be 3 hours, now it's 2 hours. So for students, that 1 hour difference is really big. So you get more energy to focus on to show what you've already mastered. The second one is more secure testing. Students will literally have different testing forms, which means even if, let's say, my friend and I was sitting right next to each other, we would not be able to see the same form, which means we would not be able to just copy paste each other's tests. There's so many other ones, including allowing disruption in internet and connectivity. So the students, let's say, if you're in the testing room, the internet or the power went out for a brief time, you will not that will not bring negatively impact your testing, because one, you can still keep testing, and all you need is the beginning of the test, and then when you finish the test, you will need the Wi-Fi or the internet to complete your tests. Again, this is just the device requirement. I'm sure students, you're going to test there to test to take the SAT test. You will know you need to bring your own device, and the device should be able to hold a charge for 3 hours. If you don't, I'm sure the test center will help you to recharge, and your device should be able to connect to Wi-Fi. The Now, just sharing a little bit more details about SAT, the each section. This is the part about reading and writing. The reading and writing sections passages are significantly shorter and more numerous, giving students more and more varied opportunities to demonstrate what you know and what you can do, and to encounter information, ideas, and perspective that you find interesting and relevant. At the same time, these shorter messages maintain the level of rigor of longer reading passages. I know for students now, that actually this is a really good feature. Instead of longer passage, now you have shorter passages and discrete questions. The another one is you will have 1.19 minute, a little over a minute for per question, which means the total length of the SAT exam is shorter, but you have more time on each question, that you are not, so SAT is not trying to force you to answer a question too fast. Instead, SAT is allowing enough time for you to show your work. This is the math part. 44 total questions, 70 minutes in total. Again, a little over a minute and a half per question. 75% are four option multiple choice questions, and 25% is the student produced responses. All right, that is a quick kind of updates on what SAT and why SAT is important. Now I'm going to talk about how you can prepare for SAT. There's so many ways to prepare SAT. Let's start with this one. So SAT, like I mentioned, SAT suite of assessment is not a single assessment because our research clearly tells us that university or career readiness is not a point in time. For example, it's not, let's say tomorrow you're taking SAT, all right, I'm going to just crank and spend the last 2 weeks or the last month trying to prepare for that. For the one day. No, it's not. That is not the way we recommend. Instead, it's a process that requires students to focus on what matters most to be on track for college and university readiness. That is why we offer a suite of three assessments, three circles you can see from here. These three circles represent PSAT 8 and 9. The middle one is the PSAT and QT, and PSAT 10. The last one is the SAT. So the three may have different names, but these three they have they have common content and they have a common scale. So students, if you're taking PSAT 8 and 9 in grade 8 or grade 9, or you're taking SAT in grade 11 or grade 12, or right in the middle, you are testing the same. Let's go back right here. You're testing the same reading and writing skills right here, and you're testing the same math, algebra, advanced math, and problem solving, geometry, and trigonometry right here through the same score structure as well. So again, if your school's offering PSAT, I highly recommend that you're taking the PSAT before you take an SAT. For those who for those of you who have never tested PSAT, after your student takes the PSAT, your students will be able to identify which part you need a little bit more work, and also which the PSD score report will also be able to tell you what SAT score range you will have if you take the SAT the same day. So instead of taking a long shot in the dark, taking the kind of the process, trusting the process, getting the PSAT done and try to study and try to really improve where the targeted area, the area that you really need to improve, that's the that will save you a lot of time. That's the first one. Second one, of course, Blue Book. If you haven't downloaded Blue Book, if you haven't tried the Blue Book, please do. Here's the link to the Blue Book. Um, what is in Blue Book? So we want to make sure that students prepare for the SAT and be comfortable with your using our tools and services because your students will take the SAT in Blue Book. So we highly recommend that you download the Blue Book first, do the test preview, and do the full length practice test. These are the three things you have to do. Download the Blue Book, do the test preview, and do the full length practice test. Let me tell you a little bit more about uh, how you can use this. So, uh, how do you use Blue Book practice tests? What's the best, some of the most important things you can do to make your life a little easier? The first one is figure out which test taking strategy works best for you. Everyone should have a strategy, whether you get the strategy from your parents, from your peers, from your teacher, or from another a school counselor. You should read the questions before. For example, should you read the question before you read the passage on the reading and writing section, or vice versa? Or should you flag a question if you can't answer in the first 30 seconds and come back to it later? Or does that throw off your timing? There are many, many strategies. All of the strategies are valid and helpful to some people, but only you can decide which one works best for you. So figure out which test taking strategy works best for you. And I would say, please try different options, try different strategies, and see which strategy works for you ahead of time. This is why we recommend using the bullet book, taking the PSAT, taking the test preview, taking the full method practice exam. That's the first one. The second tip is pay attention to the pacing. So both sections on the SAT, reading and writing and math, have two modules. Each module on the test has the same number of questions, but the mix of questions in the second module will be either slightly more difficult or slightly less difficult than the questions in the first module. Again, the second one, it could be a little bit more difficult or a little bit easier than the first module. Taking a practice test can really prepare you for this change in timing so you can learn to pace yourself. A lot of times, the use of time, managing the time management is as important as the strategy you're taking the test. Number three, try to duplicate the testing conditions as closely as possible. What does it mean? So you probably won't be able to take your practice and test in your testing room, but if you can minimize distractions and try to sit at the table or desk instead of on your couch or in your bedroom, you will be able to focus more on the practices test and then get better idea for what the test day will be like. So try to be in a close enough to where you will be and the test center, the better. Don't sit on the couch. Don't be too comfortable because I can assure you, the more closer to the testing conditions, the more confident you will be or more comfortable you will be at the testing day. What we Another tip is while we recommend taking at least one practice test and then bullet book in one sitting, just like you will do on the actual testing day, you can pause your practice test in bullet book and come back to it later. So take your time, pace yourself, don't rush. The number four is get to know bullet book. This is the whole point. Download the bullet book. Bullet book is full of helpful features to to improve your testing experience, test taking experience. Please allow yourself to get yourself familiar with those annotation tools and how to highlight and underline important parts of the questions and a line reader tool, how to use that, and how to do the answer option eliminator, and how to remind yourself to come back to a question or flag or mark a question to review later. All these are you should know, you should familiarize yourself before the actual day. That's why we highly recommend you need to know the ins and outs and every tool, every corner in Blue. Um, Sorry about that. I moved too fast. So that's number four. Number five is study with your practice scores. This is super uber important. That's another part why we recommend doing practice exams. So practice exam is not just you practice the format of the exam, the content, then the scores you get. Once you complete your practice exam, go to My Practice to review your scores. There are two ways your scores can be really helpful for your study. The first one is practice specific questions. From your My Practice dashboard on your score details page, you will see a bottom. For practice specific questions based on your performance on that practice test. My practice will create this custom set of questions to help you review any skills that might need a boost. You can even see the associate domains for each question that you, so you can further review in the student question bank, which we'll talk about that in a minute. The second one is review. Click score details to see every question on the test, the answer you submitted, the correct answer for the question. Click review next to your answer to read through the question and answer explanations. Keep track of the question you missed and pay attention to any patterns you notice about the question's content and the skills involved, especially those, let's say you have a series of questions that you missed, and those series questions are tied to a certain uh, domain. Now you know, okay, for example, if I miss a lot of questions on the math part, trigonometry, oh no, now I know I need to really improve and get to more of the trigonometry videos and questions. So that is why this is really important. You know where you need to improve. I talked about my practice. The bulk of students' analysis of the practice results will happen in my practice. Especially after you complete the full length practice test. If you have never or if you haven't really used the my practice, highly recommend go to mypractice.collegeboard.org, log in and see what's out there. Students can use your practice test score to filter questions in the question bank by domain, skills, and difficulty, and allow a targeted practice in areas with the most opportunities to grow. Also, students can generate a set of practice-specific questions based on their practice test results to provide additional review on those areas with the greatest opportunities for improvement. So again, all this is to say, not just to take the practice exam, take the practice exam, go to my practice, find out where you can improve. This is a quick screenshot of my practice. You see, once your student log into my practice, you will see score report cards from all of your completed practice tests. From there, you will be able to see you will be able to click on any of the practice scores cards to access a full report. You can see SATs, score practice exams. You can see PSC relax score reports as well. And that's my practice. Now let's talk a little bit about student question bank. I know a lot of you um, uh, know this is the really important way to practice. The students question bank has the potential to be student not so secret sidekick for practice, right? If you haven't tried this, please, this is the one that you can't miss. It has thousands of official practice questions students can use to design your own practice experience. As a reminder, a student must be logged in with a College Board account to access the student question bank. Links to the SQB are found at the bottom of the My Practice landing page, from the practice specific question page, and from the SCD Suite public practice website. So students, you can maximize your study time by focusing on the questions targeted to where you need the most practice by filtering. I know you're not lack of tests. What you lack of is time. So the best way to utilize your time is to figure out what is your priority. The student question bank can really help you to identify what your priority is. Really quick, the image on the left slide is an example of student question bank search and filter results. From there, the files are really small. If you can't see it, that's fine. the students. I will try to share the slide later. From here, there, you can click on the question to review it in more details as shown by the image on the right. Another the domain represent a content areas that are measured on the SAT suite of assessment. Mastering these content areas indicate that the student is on track to college and career readiness. Here's more information about the domains you will see in the reading and writing section. I highly recommend just read through them. You don't need to get to too much details, but at least you know what these domains are. Here is again, understanding students' performance in each of the domains can really help you to identify their strength and challenging areas. You will see on the screen under each of the skills. For example, the algebra under the math, you will see 7 bars. But under algebra right here, you can see 3 blue bars, but 4 gray bars. What does that even mean? Students, please get to our College Board website. You will understand these means the more blue bars you see, the better your students are mastering that specific domain. So you want to see more blue bars. But if you don't, if you see a lot of the gray bars, that means you will need more support in that specific domain. That's about College Board, my practice, student question bank. Now, uh, uh, let's dive into our partnership with the Khan Academy. In addition to supporting full-length practice exam in Blue Book, we're continuing to partner with the Khan Academy for their talent and expertise in creating supporting instructional content focused on the digital SAT and in alignment with our digital SAT test specifications, knowledge domains, and skills. Through our partnership with the Khan Academy, students have access to thousands of free practice questions, videos, lessons, and hints, plus test taking tips and strategies. Go to Khan Academy if you haven't. They have a lot of good resources there. There are many courses offered in Khan Academy. To practice specifically for the SAT, students can join the official digital SAT prep course. Have you heard of that one? If you haven't, please join them. The course is fully aligned to the content domains, skills, and knowledge on the digital SAT. The digital SAT math course is 13 units, and the digital SAT reading and writing course has 5 units. The benefits of Khan Academy is that the schools and teachers can take an active role in monitoring students' practice. So, students, if you are doing this, you should involve the teachers in your school. They can create their own Khan Academy account and help you to practice. There are a lot of coaching tools for the educators. So again, you are not alone. Help your teachers to help you to get better in the SAT. All this is free. Uh, I think this is the last one. So, the official digital SAT study guide provides a comprehensive resource for understanding updates to the SAT in the digital format. It includes 4 official practice tests, all created by the test maker. The guide is the only place to find practice. No, the guide is actually is not the only place to find the practice tests. It's the only place to find the practice test in the print format. So if you students want something as a book and print it out, the digital SAT study guide is where you want to find. For students that are taking SAT later, this is a slide of actions you should take. Make sure you have your ID. Make sure you do this test setup 1 week before the test date. And make sure that you've already used the SAT, know the downloaded the Blue Book, know how to use the Blue Book, and every tools and resources on the Blue Book as well. Last one, how to register, sign in, how to register for SAT. And we used to have wait a minute, yeah, seven administrations a year. Now we've added a September one. So this year, September 13th will be the a complete new administration. You will have August, September, October, November, almost every month in the second half of the year that you can take the SAT. Go to mysat.collegeboard.org, register and get your spot. That is all for me from this part. Carolyn, sorry I can't really see you, but I think I'm ready for questions.
Right. Okay,
So
thank you,
just
Haike. So we're gonna take questions from our audience who come to the site, and we'll also take questions from our audience online. So we're gonna take the questions from the audience who come to the site first. Is that okay with you?
sure.
Ya, oke. So, teman-teman di sini yang mungkin punya pertanyaan, silahkan angkat tangannya dulu. Nanti ditunggu sampai diberikan mikrofon karena nanti speaker tidak bisa dengar tanpa mikrofon. And then you can introduce yourself and then ask your questions. Alright, teman-teman yang hadir di sini mungkin ada yang mau bertanya mengenai SAT, apapun itu tentang SAT atau mungkin College Board atau CSS Profile. Silahkan mungkin teman-teman di sini. Anyone here want to ask a question? Oke, ada satu pertanyaan, silahkan masnya.
Okay. Hello, my name is Fahri. I'm from Bogor, 11th grade. And I want to ask, is there any minimum requirement of the score for SAT test when we want to go to college in America, in the US?
Oh, that is a great question. And thank you for asking the first question. When I was at your age, I'm so afraid of asking the question, the first one. I'm always waiting for someone to ask first, then I'll follow. So thank you for that brave question. And also, the question is about is the minimum score to go to universities in the US? The answer is no. And the answer is depends. Sorry about that. The short answer is depends. There are many universities, there are over 3,000 universities in the US, right? Every university has its own policy on remember the whole submission. Some of them let's say they require SAT, they might have a range, for example. So my advice is once you know which university you are interested, go to that university or go to my big future. Let me right here. I'll show you which one this. See the screen on the bottom one that's called Big Future. You can go to Big Future, find that university. That university will show you their range of SAT score from last cohort, which means, let's say, if I want to go to Stanford, I want to see, I have an SAT score, right? Let's say my score is 1500. I will be able to search on Big Future and see last year Stanford, let's say they recruited 500 students. Majority of them, their SAT score falls between 1400 to 1600, and my SAT score is 1500. That helps me to okay, I'm in a pretty good spot. So that again, there's no minimum requirement. They won't say, "Oh, your SAT score is too low to come to my university." But a lot of times you can go find out the range of the SAT score that the university had for last cohort. Great question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Alright, thank you. Anyone here want to ask a question? Okay, go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Zhao. My name is Farhan, and I'm also from Bogor. My question is, for a scholarship applicant, what do you think is the competitive score for SAT to take a major of mechanical engineering, preferably on U of T, Canada, or University of Waterloo? And how many times could an SAT be retake? And I'm from 10th grade, sorry.
Oh, 10th grade. Oh, wow, you're young. Let me answer the second question first, because that's the easy one. How many times should you take SAT? We've done so SAT. We know that a lot of students take it twice. So the first time, usually, if you take a SAT the second time, your score is a little higher than the first one because it's just maybe it's a familiarity. A lot of students just do better in the second time, but we don't recommend you taking multiple times because if you take in the SAT for the third time, fourth time, fifth time, we're not going to stop you, but it's not going to make any difference. SAT for the SAT to be valid, think about it. If you the score depends on how many times you take the SAT, that test is not valid. It's not really showing what you really know. So the short answer to that one is uh, take two. We recommend taking SAT two times, but no more than two. I mean, if you're going to want to take three, that's fine, but we recommend two. The first question you were asking, chemical engineering, what is a good score, SAT score for scholarship? Again, that one, it's really depends on university. I know you mentioned those two universities or one in Canada. I will highly recommend going to the university website, search for those information. A lot of times they make it very clear. If you can't find those information, ask your school counselor to reach out to the university. I'm sure the university will be happy to provide those information for you.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, okay. Thank you for your response, sir. Thank you.
All right. So, Haike, I have a follow-up question after that. So, talking about how many times a person can take the SAT test, you mentioned twice. That's the recommendation. But can you also elaborate more on? I think there's a term called super score, right? So, if a person takes more than the SAT once, but then they can combine the score, or I guess what the process is like, or what is it basically?
Yes, Super Score. I think Super Score, you can find those information on our website. Basically the Super Score allows a student just allows more flexibility. Students, you can combine your scores, reading math, reading and writing. Maybe this time I have higher reading and writing. The second time I have higher score in math, so I can combine them. That's called Super Score. Some remember. Some university accept super score, some university doesn't. Again, it's you really need to do your homework and understand which university will take super score. If they do, what does it look like? Again, super score is helpful in some circumstances because it allows you flexibility. The in some situations, you don't want to really overtake the exam that you want to achieve. All right, my math score, I only got, let's say, 750. I want to get a perfect score. I want to get 800. So I'm going to take it 10 times. Not necessary. We don't recommend it.
All right, thank you. All right, anyone here have any more question for Haike? Not yet. All right. So we have a question from our audience online. So the question is: we know that a lot of schools they go SAT optional now, right? So what's your take on this? Do you think that students still need to take SAT? Do you still recommend that even if it's optional, or or any any recommendations at all?
Really good question. So test optional was in place before pandemic, and after pandemic, during pandemic, test option is there. So the first one is Yes, please, please, as especially for international students, taking SAT is gonna help you. Uh, Many universities, when they say test optional, there are a lot of the fine print underneath it. Test optional, what does it really mean? Test optional, do they consider that means, yeah, you it's optional for you to submit score. Some universities saying yes, you do. It's optional to submit score, but once you submit score, we will consider it. So, if you're looking at the common app report, from last year till this year, January, February, you will see students who are submitting their SAT scores are outpacing those don't. So there are more and more students do submit their SAT scores than they don't. So if you're competing with someone outside the US as an international student, just think about it. Let's say if Caroline, you and let's say I'm in Thailand, you're in Jakarta, we're from two different high schools. I have an SAT score, you don't. I have a high SAT score that can support my GPA and other the whole picture, but you don't. Will make the mission officer their job a lot easier when I have more information to present to them. So again, I will highly recommend students take an SAT, even if it's a test optional, because um, taking the SAT doesn't mean you have to submit your score, but once you have taken the SAT, it's your option and it's your freedom to keep the score or submit the score. A lot of times, actually, more than 80% of the time, SAT score will reinforce, enhance your GPA, and help you to stand out.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So, anyone here has any more question? If not, we can go back to her. Okay. So we have one question here.
Yeah, hello. My name is Faris. I'm a parent of an 8th and 11th grader. My question is about the PSAT. Is it the same as SAT, as digital PSAT also, and how does it work? Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that question. The PSAT, yes. PSAT and an SAT, just as SAT, you are taking PSAT on your own laptop using the same Blue Book testing app, the same format, same content, same scoring. The only difference is SAT um, it's higher stake. PSAT is lower stake. So PSAT is ordered by your school, not by the student, and it's a lot cheaper. I believe the PSAT is about 16 or $18 compared to the SAT.
Any more questions, sir?
Yes, so there's no option for the individuals to take private PSAT or something like that.
Right. Right now, for individual students cannot register on their own. They have to find a school. The school will order that for them.
Okay. Any more question? Okay. So I think for that about the PSAT, because individuals cannot take it, I guess independently. I guess it's going to be a little difficult for Indonesian students because I don't think many of the schools here are even familiar with SAT or PSAT. I guess, do you have any recommendations or any solutions for the individuals who attend the schools who want to take the PSAT?
Yes, if there's any, if maybe you can help me, if there's a email address that I can reach out to, or Caroline, I just want to know which school you're going to. I want to see which city you're in. There are some PSCD schools in the region. Maybe that school we can connect it with that school. Or your own school can start offering. So there are so many options. So I just need to know a little bit more about your school and where you are.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you. So there's a solution for that, right? We can just
There
reach
is a,
out to you.
you, think about it. PSAT, 3 million students taken. It's the largest digital test, larger than SAT.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I think we have a question from this side right here. Right.
All right. Hello, my name is Ardella. I'm currently a 10th grader. And my question is, how big is the opportunity for us if we submit our SAT score for getting a scholarship in America? Thank you.
Yes, yes. That's a really big question. SAT is a part of the selection criteria for some of the university, some of the scholarship. There's so many different types of scholarships. Some of those scholarships does not look at your SAT at all. Some scholarship just is need based. There's so many different types of scholarships. So the merit based scholarships, some of them will look at your SAT. That's why I recommended the CSS profile. If you look at the screen right now, at the bottom right, CSS profile. If you're really looking interested in in the scholarships, I will highly recommend filling out the CSS profile form. It's about $25 US, but you will get chance to one form to apply to 300 scholarships in the 300 institutions. So, and then we'll connect your SAT score there. So, um, instead of giving you a very specific like an answer to one or two universities, I will highly recommend take a SAT and fill out the try the CSS profile if you are looking at the scholarship opportunities in the U.S.
Right. Thank you. So for a student to access the CSS profile, does that student have to take the SAT first, or
They
no?
they don't they
Okay.
don't have to take a SAT first, but there are some merit-based scholarships. SAT is part of
Okay.
the selection criteria.
Right. All right. Got
Just
it.
think about it, if they want to, let's say, recruit you or me, decide I have $5,000 US. Caroline, you have SAT, really good SAT score. I don't.
Right.
The chances are easier to give it to you than me.
Right. All right. All right. Thank you. Okay. Any more question from the audience here? Not yet. So we have one good question from our audience online. The question is there an SAT waiver fee from College Board?
Well, yes, the SAT waiver on our website, I believe it's eligible for U.S. citizens. I'm not sure the waiver we have right now is for all international students. I can double check that one and get back to Caroline. I
Yeah.
don't know if we will have opportunity to send follow-up emails
All right.
after this.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Any more question from the audience here? Right. Okay. May I ask anyone here is a eighth grader? Ninth? 10th? Okay, we have 1, 2, 11th. We have 1, 12th, 2, 12th grade. No. All right. Okay, so Haike, so I guess most of the people who come here, they're either 10th or 11th grade. Any advice for them specifically to prepare?
Yes, I would say 11th or 12th. I'm pretty sure you've already tried the Blue Book. Make sure you use the My Practice that tool and the Khan Academy. Use all uh, the resources we have, and even with the Khan with the Blue Book, we have, I think we just published another two new full length practice exams using that. I think that is the best way to really practice.
All right. Okay. Right. So, let's see if we have more questions from our audience online. All right. So this is a good question. In aiming for a high score, is it better to focus on getting everything right in one section or be well-rounded across all sections?
Oh, definitely the latter. Because your score is based on two modules, not just one module. So if you're doing really good one with the first one, but then you will get a slightly more difficult on module two. But if you're not really doing very well on module two, your score will be impacted, right? So because your score is based on two boxes, not just one.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. So, one question for me is, so we have the PSAT 8-9 and then PSAT 10 and then the SAT, right? So, say a student does everything, all the PSATs and then the SAT. Do you see, is it a common trend that, let's say, for the score curve to always go up if they follow the structure?
Oh, that's a good question. I know today's I can have another session about just the PSCT that part. So that how that works actually. I oh my gosh, I just delete that slide. The PSCT 8 and 9, the score, PSCT, NMSQT, and PSAT and the SAT, their scores are vertically aligned. What does that mean? That means if you're scoring, let's say, 1200 on PSAT 8, that's the same as the PSAT MSQT or PSAT 10 or SAT, which means you will see the full score of SAT is 1600, P10 and PN is lower than that, and P8 and P9 is lower than that. The scoring structure is the same, but the score is vertically aligned, which means if you're just one student taking 8 and 9, then 10, then SAT, their score should be very consistent.
I see. I see. All right. Okay. That's very helpful. Thank you. All right. We have a little more time for more questions. Anyone here want to ask anything? No? All right. Heike, can you answer a little question about CSS profile? Is that
Yes.
possible? Okay. So I noticed there are many schools under the CSS profile who participated, right? But I noticed all of them are, if not maybe all of, I guess, private schools, and I don't usually see public schools on the list. Does the list change every year or not?
The list doesn't. Majority of the list does not change.
Okay.
Change is hard. the uh, the There are you're right. There are a lot of private schools. Actually, there are some public schools there. The CS profile. The good thing about CS profile is international students can use it, which means actually this is the best tool if you're looking at a scholarship for international students.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Anyone here want to ask anything? Okay, so we have one question from our audience on the side.
Thank check. Thank you, sir. First, actually, this is the first time I tried to follow the session of at America, and recently I figured out that SAT is not compatible for master degrees scholarship, right? Uh, so my question is actually out of this topic, but if you are willing to answer, maybe please answer the question about the GRE. Do you have any good recommendation of websites or any book or reference help uh, to help us to prepare for the GRE test? Thank you, sir.
Okay, right. So SAT is for undergrads and GRE is the one for masters or PhD. So we're gonna have a session on April 25th, strictly on GRE, same as this one. So I think it's better that you come to our session on the 25th and ask our speaker directly about your questions. Right? All good. Okay. Anyone here have any more questions? Nope. If not, there are no more questions from me as well, Haike. But any last words that you want to say to all our students in Indonesia?
I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to you and as a host, and I want to say thank you to the students and parents who come today. I know we are in a very uncertain world right now. The value of education, the value of higher education is really important. We believe that every student should have the best opportunity to fully to reach their potential. So whether you are thinking about taking SAT or other tests or anything that can help you to stand out in university, I would say just really be yourself and work hard and there are so many great opportunities there. Even in just the US, there are over 3,000 universities. Try something. You don't have to limit yourself in very small number of schools. Try some, just go find some university names that you never know, have never heard of, but they are great university there. So don't limit yourself to a smaller group of university, get bigger.
All right. Thank you so much, Haike. I know it's very late. It's almost midnight where you are right now, so we truly appreciate your time. You're spending your evening with us. I guess everyone, please have a round of applause for Haike before it closes. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you again very soon. Thank you, and you have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kak Caroline Darmanto and Haike Chao join us from the United States. Once again, can we give a big round of applause to our discussion and session today? Thank you so much. And earlier at this event, we have trivia quiz for you who join us via online platforms. And the question was, what can a student expect when taking the SAT? And the correct answer is A, a task on reading, writing, and math comprehension. So congratulations to Ardina Yuliani from YouTube, who is the fastest one who can guess correctly. The last to keep update for our next amazing events here in Ad America, you can follow our social media. We have on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, AT America. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in with us. My name is Patricia Elizabeth, and see you at the next At America events. Happy weekend, everyone!